On. New this morning, Politico reports former President Donald Trump has recently been holding a series of private dinners with some of his wealthiest and highest profile supporters to quietly discuss plans for the 2024 election. Discussions have included when and if he should make his expected comeback bid official. The dinners have taken place in recent weeks in both Houston and Nashville, with the latest happening last Friday in Las Vegas. That's where Politico reports billionaire casino mogul and longtime Trump friend Phil Ruffin urged the former president to launch another run for the White House and do it soon. The meals are hosted by Trump's leadership PAC, Save America, and have included around 12 to 16 people per dinner. It's a big sign that he's looking at running again, which is the big question about how this would work a second time around. Joining us now, the co-founder of Axios, Mike Allen. Mike, he's also expected to return to Washington later this month for the first time since the end of his presidency. So that combined with this Politico report on the donor dinners, what do you make of it?
Mika, it's obvious that he's planning to make a big move, and this is a scoop by Axios' Elena Treen coming up 2 weeks from now, July 26th, for the first time since he took off from the White House lawn on Inauguration Day, skipping President Biden's inauguration. Donald Trump will be back in D.C. He's coming back. He's going to be the keynoter at a conference by a group, by some of his former administration officials, America First Policy Institute. And Mika, why this matters is even among Trump supporters, Washington's very different than when he left. A lot of people who worked his administration are still here and day by day are seeing those revelations from the House 1-6 committee. But back in the swamp for a event where his supporters will be heralding him. Mika, it's invitation only, but it'll be live streamed and open to the press.
Wow. Jonathan Lemire, you can take it to Mike, but, I mean, most discussions around the issue of Trumpism, even during these January 6th hearings, and there's a certain section of Americans who are stalwart Trump supporters that won't even listen to these hearings. I mean, Donald Trump still has a following, and many would argue that we're not done with Trumpism at all, especially since so many Republicans in Washington are afraid to talk about him in a realistic manner.
Yeah, Donald Trump still has a significant following. Even if polls suggest his popularity among Republicans has declined slightly, he's still by far the loudest voice in the party. And we are hearing some Republican candidates eyeing 2024. A few of them might even be willing to take on Trump were he to run again. But I don't think that list is going to be lengthy, and he would be the overwhelming favorite for the nomination. So, Mike Allen, obviously great scoop by Axios that Trump's coming back to D.C., but he's been having these meetings elsewhere, talking to donors, talking to influential party members and allies about a potential 2024 run. He hasn't committed to it yet, but he's sure leaning that way. But give us the debate within the Republican Party as to when, if he were to do so, when he should announce. Because there are a lot of Republicans who are very leery that if Trump jumps in ahead of the midterms, that could be an unwanted distraction for a party that seems pretty poised to do well in November.
Oh, absolutely, Jonathan. If you're a Republican running for office, running for the House or Senate, you want him to wait until midterms. But there's no sign of that. The signs, in fact, all of our reporting shows Donald Trump is likely to announce sooner rather than later. And I can give you a rule of thumb. Just as we've long said, the worse Donald Trump's legal problems are, the more likely he is to announce. I think the worse the revelations out of the January 6th committee, the more traction, the more viewership the revelations from the January 6th committee get, the sooner he's likely to announce, because he sees it as cover, he sees it as a way to project himself. But those people who are running, and your question about the timing, if you're running for office and Donald Trump announces for president in 2024, in 2022, what are you going to be asked about any place you go? Republicans want to talk about inflation, but they'll be talking about Donald Trump if he's announced.
Yeah, and, you know, it's interesting. I wonder if some of these folks are saying, could you hold off? I mean, it might be helpful.
No question.